So hey everyone, welcome back to ptscadexpert. And if you are planning to get in detail knowledge in Revit architecture, or we can say Revit BIM, then this video will help you to get information from scratch. So what will be inside the course? So specifically in this video, we are going to discuss about how to make a G+2 building in Revit architecture, how you can plan, modeling, camera setting, use of material. So after that, at the end of the video, we will discuss about the rendering setting. So this video will be very helpful for you to, if you want to get the knowledge from scratch and want to become expert in Revit architecture and want to get the knowledge in detail knowledge in BIM. So if you are here first time, then don't forget to subscribe this channel, and if you like this video, so press hit the like button. And also if you want to get the live training from our expert, then don't forget to install ptscadexpert application from Google Play Store. So without wasting our time, let's get started.
Welcome back to ptscadexpert and myself, Architect Kumar Kapadia from the city of Surat in Gujarat. And as a part of Revit Live BIM classes, what all we have seen up till now so far are the 3D drafting commands. But all of that we have seen in segregation and parts and pieces, wherein I have shown all the features and functionalities connected to one particular command. But Revit is not only about modeling the 3D interface and the 3D elements, but it also involves the modeling of the 2D elements, which are particularly the essential building assets, as we call this annotate tab. Then we have the dimensions, the detail components, that is the detail lines, the nomenclature part, the tagging part, which includes the room tag, space tag, material tag, stair tag, the legend parts, and the symbols. But for that, we essentially need a proper built form or a proper structure onto which I can show you in the implementation of all this 2D commands. So for today's class, we are actually going to execute one simple G+2 story structure residential project, which will be essentially a revision and recap of all this 3D drafting commands. And after that, we will proceed with the annotate part. Okay, so just close out of this and let me, while going to insert, let me load the AutoCAD file and let me browse to the preferred location. And with this AutoCAD file selected, I will say that preserve, and for import units I will go to units and positioning should be manual center and open. So this is a simple G+2 residential project which we are going to actually model for the today's session, which will be a revision to all of this 3D drafting commands. Okay, so let's start. So the first step after importing the AutoCAD plan is to go to VG and import categories and turn this to halftone so that we can have a proper visual appearance and would not distract us while modeling the 3D part. So to start with this simple project, we are going to focus on only the 3D modeling part, and I'm not going to take into consideration structure part as of now. And for the beam and column also, right now we are just going to model a wall. And once we are done with the 3D, then I'll also show you how to incorporate structure onto this. So the first and the foremost step is going to the elevation. And if you see here, then we have this 4 steps and this plinth area within this particular structure. So let me just create some levels, and this should be 0 ground floor layout, and this should be essentially 1 plinth level, which would be at 2 feet 6 inches. And then by pressing LL, I will just go 10 feet from here and drop a level. That will be first floor, and another level, or we can just press LL and select this pick lines and give it an offset of 10 feet, which would be the terrace level, and then finally 8 feet 6 inches, that is the slab top. Okay, so level 2, level first floor. Okay, corresponding views, yes. And 3, terrace floor. And last but not least, the slab top. Okay, just select all of this and drag it all the way in. Okay, so now let's start with building the compound wall first. So I will just press wall, and compound wall will have an unconnected height. It will not go from till any level. So I would say the base constraint should be ground floor layout and the top constraint should be unconnected, and I would give it a height of say 5 feet 6 inches. Okay, and in edit type properties I would like to edit and turn this to say 9 inches, and also I would insert a layer above and below, which would, this should be typically the finish level 5 and this should be finish 1, and this should go to half inches, 0.75 inches, that is 19 mm, and this should be 0.5 inches, that is half mm internal plaster. And for material, let me go to the first, let me create a new material, and I will say rename one compound wall. Okay, and go to appearance, and don't forget to duplicate here, since whatever material we assign onto the autodesk material, we don't end up making changes onto that. And just by clicking this set browser, I will go to appearance library and I'll just select stone, and let me select this, replace this. Okay, and if you won't have duplicated, again I need to duplicate this and say yeah. Okay, so after assigning the material you need to duplicate that, otherwise you will end up making changes with the material that is provided by Autodesk. And sample size styling is fine, and just click OK, apply, and OK. And the same material we need to apply to another layer as well. So I just copy paste onto Control C and Control V. Okay, and rest all is fine. So just click OK, and of course don't forget to duplicate, since we don't mess up with the system family. So I will say that one compound wall, and OK, and just press OK. So now we will start drafting these walls with the location line, wall center line selected. If you just select hover onto any part of this AutoCAD plan, then you'll see that it will snap to the center, and even if I draw this wall, then it will draw from the center. Okay, since we have provided that external plaster and internal plaster, if you select this core face exterior, then that would also work just like that, and you see that it is adding the 19 mm plaster on the external end and half 12 mm plaster on the interior end. I will start from here again and go just like that all the way till this here. And now if you just see the 3D of this, then you will see that our compound wall is created with that particular material. Okay, fine. Now let's quickly start with the another part. So now let's quickly start with creating the other parts and pieces. That is, the first and foremost, we need to create a plinth. Since this is 4-step high, so the plinth should be created at 2 feet 6 inches. That is the level we have already mentioned in the elevation. So when you don't find anything relevant to, we need to create a plinth, but we don't have any plinth here. So when you don't find anything relevant, Then you just need to go to component and model in place, and from there I will select generic models and I will call it plinth. Okay, and we will start this extrusion, and I will just select this whole of rectangle, and we need to do a little bit of drafting to make it properly in place, and also we need to get rid of this. Okay, so I'll just press TR and trim extend and finish this, and also I will finish this, and from here we need to select this line, and also here we need to pick lines and say this should be okay, and this should trim with this, and we don't need this line, and of course this will with this and this with this. Okay, so we have our plinth created, and by going to material, I will quickly duplicate this material, and I will say one plinth material, and also in appearance I will duplicate saying plinth material, and this time instead of using the inbuilt material set browser, I will just click this image, and that will probably browse up to the location where all our materials are loaded, and wherein we can have more options. And I will just go to this and select this particular material. Where is it? Yeah, this, and just open and apply and OK, and I just hit the checkbox. And one more thing, we need to create 4 steps. So with this, in this command, in this case extrusions, I will just create this rectangle and just turn off the visibility line weight 0.6 inches. That is the height of one step. Again going to create extrusion, and 0, and this time it is going to be 1 feet, and again create one more extrusion saying 0, and this should be 18 inches. Yeah, so the height of the plinth should be actually 2 feet. Yeah, okay, so we again need to change that in the elevation as well, wherein we had provided that 2 feet 6 inches. Fine. And now if I just change this visibility graphics to realistic, then you can see that, and if I go to 3D, then you can see that the plinth is created with the steps leading to the plinth and the compound wall. Let's quickly create the other parts and pieces of this particular plinth. For that I need to go to wireframe, and first what we'll do is, just let me take this here and let me create a surface for that we again can go to the same, this edit and place, and create one more extrusion, which would be something like an entry to, just trim this. Oh, I need to split these elements, and for this I'm going to say that I just want it to be, say, 3 inches is enough. And for the material part, I'm going to again this duplicate and say this one stone material, and in appearance too I'm going to duplicate this and stone material, and just going to and from appearance library I'm just going to say site work or stone, and just going to select any random stone, or actually you can select this from here itself, and yeah, you can select this stone and just go to OK and change sample size. That's fine. Apply and OK and hit the checkbox. So we have that added, and now let's just add the remaining walls. That is, this compound wall needs to be added here as well. The same 5 feet 6 inches and connected height, and the base constraint ground floor layout. Fine. Just add it onto this end, and by going to wireframe, we have a wall here as well. So let me add there, but this is having to the plinth level, and the unconnected height should be 3 feet 6 inches for this particular portion. And now let's quickly create the flower bed portion and edit type, and this time I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to say compound wall 2. It doesn't matter what name you give, but for this I'm going to change this to 6 inches, and with the same material I would just go and create that particular wall. And yeah, the same for here as well. I'll press tab and create that. And also we need to create the flower bed plate as well. So again, going to component. So see, we could have edit in place, and we could make it in this family here itself, since we just need an extrusion. So I'll just press this rectangle, and this rectangle here pops up an error message, but don't need to worry. And these two are different lines, so I'll just delete and trim that. And the same way we need to create here as well. And there we go. So I'll just delete this TR and press this, and for this I'm going to say that the extrusion start should be at 2 feet 6 inches, and extrusion end should be 3 feet, and the material should be, let's just say, the grass, and it does have a material of grass. And just select this, OK, and just hit the checkbox and finish this. And is anything else left? No. So let's go to 3D, and we see that our plinth is created, but the only thing is that we need to change the constraint for this particular thing, which is 2 feet 6 inches. I guess I need to enter 4 feet and 4 feet 6 inches and 5 feet. So that will make it in place, and similarly for this as well. Yeah. Okay, so that is our plinth created. And one last thing left is that within this particular plinth area, I need to have certain areas defined with different segmentation and different functions. So let me quickly go to ground floor and create a couple of extrusions, which are not going to have much of weightage, but it has to be 2 feet 6 inches, and I'm going to be just 2 feet 6.5 inch. So that is just, I want to differentiate between the different materials, and so different areas. So I'll just select this and just say this to be the same, and also this kitchen garden, that is just a rectangle. Finally, last but not least, the wash area, and fine. And one last, that is this living area, also need to be defined with a different material to it. And with this piece of extrusions, I will quickly go to Manage tab and create some couple of materials. That is, just duplicate this. I'll say this fun default flooring material. I just copy it and paste it by duplicating here as well. And for this, I'm going to select something, a lighter material, which would be something like this. Yeah. And one more material, that is duplicate, and that should be for the wooden deck. Yeah, I'm going to duplicate here as well. Just rename, copy, and paste it here. And for this, I'm going to select and something which appears to be like wooden planks, and okay, I'll go for this and apply and okay. And with this, I'll just go to 3D and I'll select this and say that it should have a material of default flooring material. Where is it? Yeah. And this should be some tiling, some ceramic tiles, or say, let me just click tile. And what do we find? Yeah, I can select any of this. Let me go to the tiling part, and it says it's too much, so I'll just say 4 feet across 4 feet and apply and okay. That too is more, but yeah, for now it's proper. And for this particular, I'm going to say that I want this to be the wooden deck. Okay. Right and okay. So this is basically one plinth is having so many materials. And if I have a closer look, then oh, we have a problem. Actually, this newly created extrusions were supposed to be, let me just select all of this. And if you see that I entered a wrong extrusion dimensions for them, that this should be basically 2 feet. Oh, sorry. This should be 2 feet and the other should be 2 feet and half inches. So that, yeah, that will probably make that in place. And also, if you go to the ground floor, then you will realize that we have a sunken courtyard onto this floor. So what we need to do is that we need to select this and edit extrusion, and we just need to pick faces and discard this portion, and I'll split face and get rid of this. And let's just clean up the drawing, and we don't need this, and TR, and just press yes. And now by going to 3D, if you select this particular floor, then we have one step sunken for that particular plinth, that we have the courtyard, sunken courtyard on that portion. So how can we do that? So let's use a different command for that. So let me go to ground floor, and this time with that selected, I just say create forms, and this time I'm going to use void forms. And in void forms, I'm just going to get rid of this particular segment. And for this, I will say that extrusion starts would be typically 1 feet 6 inches, and extrusion end doesn't matter wherever it could be. But what that will do is that will deduct the 6 inches of that portion from that particular plinth area, and that could be our sunken courtyard. And now if we're going to apply a material, then we could probably use let's say the stone material to that particular portion. And you see that how can with this command, it's a very useful command, split face, we can apply a different material to the same texture. So if I just hide this, then you will see that this is the flooring material, but this is the sunken courtyard, and we have applied different material onto that. Okay, so with this we are done with the compound wall and plinth and the soft and hard landscape and a little bit of landscape part, and now we'll start with the modeling part. Okay, so let's go to ground floor, and but our wall starts from plinth level, so I need to go to plinth level, and let me close that. Let me just click wall, and I'm going to edit type and duplicate this and one main wall. Okay, and we are going to edit type. I'm going to edit some of its properties. I'm going to just go with 1/2 inch plaster for now. And for material palette, I'm going to create a new material saying duplicate and say one main wall, and duplicate in appearance as well, and say one main wall. And I'm going to just give it a material of a paint and apply and OK. And with the rest of these properties, we just press OK and OK and start drafting our walls, wherein I want this to go from base constraint plinth level, and top constraint should not be unconnected but up to first floor. Okay, and location line should be finished core face exterior, so probably it will snap. Let me just change this to wireframe and with the detail level to fine, so that we can see that how is it drafting. So you see that we have started drafting the walls, and let it go from here just like that, and okay. And anytime during drafting the walls, if you want to flip the direction, then you just need to press tab. For example, I need the wall on the other side, and press tab, and I'll just connect this. Okay, also I need this to move and go up till the exterior end. That's fine. So our walls are created, and if you just go to 3D, then you will see that okay, I forgot to apply the material to the other layers, so I'll just press Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and Ctrl V as well, apply and OK. So this is our wall that created, and now let's quickly start creating the internal walls. So again, by going to plinth level, we have some 8 inch of wall from here till here and till here, from here till here. Okay, now there will be that beam going from this level to this, between these two walls there will be a beam. So I will just go to ceiling plan and see ceiling plan of plinth level, and I'll turn this to fine and to wireframe, and I'll click wall. But this time I'm saying that I want the base constraint to be 8 feet 6 inches, and I want to go to top level. So you see that we need to select this point and just flip the direction and put it, and that will essentially connect. So this point, and just like that. And let me go to 3D, and you see, okay, that's fine. Now again, let's go to let me close this and go to plinth level, and we need to create some of the internal walls. Okay, so again go to wall and edit type, and this time I'm going to duplicate this and say 4.5 inch, and we're not going to make any changes, but just the core structure I'm going to reduce the thickness of, and just click with all the other properties same. I'm just going to select this, and oh sorry, this should be 0, and with list all the properties same. I'll just snap to this point and till here, and from here to here, from here to here, and likewise from here to here. Okay. Yeah, we need one more wall for the bedroom, and so I will select that main wall, and I will just connect this from here. Okay. So we just have a problem over here since the beam is going, so it is not allowing to. So what we need to do in that way is just click this wall joint and disallow the joint, and that will probably allow it to toggle snap up to here. So now let's quickly start adding openings to this particular model, and for that let's start with adding the doors first, and I need to measure this is 3 foot 6 inches, and the service doors, the washroom, 2 feet 6 inches, and typically this also is 2 feet 6 inches, only I need to measure this. Okay, so we have 3 door types, that is, one is 3 foot 6 inches and 2 feet 6 inches. So let's quickly go to architecture and door, and we have the single flush door which we can particularly add to this portion, and let me just place it for now, and let me go to edit type and duplicate that, and say that 2 feet 6 inches. Okay, and for here in width I will enter 2 feet 6 inches, and that's fine. Okay, and I will just modify and align this with the exterior face of this particular wall, and then I will select this door and press right click and create. No, actually you can just select this door and press CS, that is create similar, and place that door onto here, align that as well. Make sure that you are snapping to the perfect line, and similarly you need to create one more door here, so CS, and place it here, and let me see whether it is, and just press align and click OK. Now I'll select this and CS and place it here, but I will select that door and edit type, and I will duplicate that and say that I want this to be 3 feet 0 inches. Yeah, fine. And here in width I will change this width to 3 foot and press OK, and now I will just align that, and there we go. Okay, now we need to add the main door. For that I need to go to architecture and door and load family, and I'll load a different type of door, say libraries and English Imperial and door and residential. For that I will select this, maybe say single entry, yeah, this one, this particular door, and I'll just open it, and I just need to select one dimension which we can add it further. So I will, for now I'll just select this, and you see that door has been loaded in this project environment, which I can just place it, and I will say that this edit type, and this is duplicate, and I will say that 3 foot 6 inches main door, and rest all properties I won't change, but I'll just change this width to say 3 feet 6 inches. Fine. And align, and then align with this. Okay. What else? I need to add windows as well. So for windows I need to select this. I need to measure. This is 8 foot, and this also I suppose is 8 foot. Fine. But we need sliding door for this. So I'll just go to architecture and window, And right now we just have a fixed window, so again need to load family and go to Windows, and I will say I want this slider with trim. This particular family won't be available with this 2022 version, and it's just that I have imported this family from earlier version. I've saved it, so it's there in this library location, or else you will not find it. You can just download it from Google and save it in this preferred location. And I have slider with trim. I'll just open it, and with this I'll again go to first edit type and duplicate that, and I will say that 8 foot, and with height I would say 4 feet, and sill height I will enter just 6 inches, and then height of I say 7 feet 6 inches, so that will round up to the lintel level of let's say 6 foot 6 inches. So that will round up to the lintel level, and default sill height and width, the width should be 8 foot, and the default sill height should be 6 inches in this case. So that will probably okay. And I'll place one window here and one here as well. I will change this orientation to inside, and I will align this as well. And here this as well. Fine. We have 2 more windows over here, but let me just measure that is 6 foot. So again I go to CS, that is create similar. I will place this window onto here and go to edit type, and I will duplicate this, saying this to be 6 foot. And for in this case I will add a sill height of say 3 foot. Again the height should be 4 feet, so that will make it 7 feet lintel, and the width should only be 6 foot 6 inches, or no, 6 foot. Yeah. So with this properties defined, I will just click yes, and I will align, and similarly the same I will, and CS create similar and align, and there we go. Okay, we have a couple of windows here as well, so we need to measure that 6 foot. Yeah, 6 foot, and this is 4 feet and something like that. Okay, so I will add this window CS, that is create similar. I will add one over here and one over here, and for this I will go to edit type and change this to say 4 feet for now. And sorry, I need to edit type and duplicate this and then add 4 feet. And for this as well, I will change this to 4 feet, and rest of the properties I won't change. So you see that we can just place it like that. And this is again 6 foot. So yeah, that is 6 foot. So I can just press align and align it here. Okay. Here too we have windows, but so CS and place it, and those are 6 foot as well, I guess. And one more over here, CS, and that too 3 foot. Okay, and one more over here. So CS, but this is essentially, yeah, so we need to measure this, and it's just 4 foot. So I can select this window and CS, and I'll add that window over here. and then I'll just align. Okay, so we have all our door and windows added. We just need one sliding panel over here, so I will just click this, and actually we don't need a wall, we can just have an opening over here. So for this particular, I will just drop essentially one reference plane, a reference plane onto this face, and I will just drop a section over here so that I can see only that particular wall. And I will say set plane, I'll pick a plane and go to that particular section, and while going to plinth level, I'll just select this wall until I can highlight that, and with that wall highlighted, I'll say edit profile, and I will just draw a line till this beam bottom, and I will split the lines over here, and I'll say that I want this to go from here and here. So within this wall only, we have created one opening that could be access to the courtyard, and we don't have any door over there. Lines cannot intersect each other. Oops, sorry. We need to close this geometry and just press finish. And okay, and let's just see it in 3D. Okay, there we go. We have all our doors and windows and everything, and this needs to be essentially fine. So this is the opening which doesn't have any, this is just opening and wall, and we have a door over here as well. Okay, fine. So now quickly let's ventilation and staircase. So I'll go to plinth level and just get rid of this section. We don't need it anymore. Now let me go to first floor. Oh, sorry. No. Let me go to, yeah. And we need to add a ventilation, lowered ventilation on this toilets. So essentially I need to go to Windows and load family. And in this window I suppose we have this lowers. Okay, I'll just open that. And 24 by 24 seal height should be this, so I'll just add it over here for now and just modify that, align that, sorry. So I need to align that in place, and I will create, or I'll flush this end, and I will just select this and say mirror, draw axis. I will select the center point, and we have one ventilation over here also. But ventilation essentially are on the upper height. So I will just go to edit type and say duplicate, say 2 feet cross 6 foot, or say 7 foot. Okay. So height, in height we need to mention that what should be the height. The height is 2 feet, but the sill height, the default sill height should be, if the lintel is 7 foot, then essentially if it's a 2 feet window, then we need the sill height of 5 foot. And as soon as I press OK, then you will notice that the sill height is changed or not. The default sill height is 5 feet. Yeah, that's fine. So we need to, I guess, we need to make a change here. And let's just see it in 3D. Just click HH. Yeah, and that particular louvers are in place. Fine. HR. And now let's quickly create the staircase, and for that I need to go to plinth level, and you see that we have this custom staircase shape, uh, L shape, a C shape, sorry. So I'll get to architecture and I'll click stairs and I'll say edit type and duplicate that and say custom stairs. Okay. And maximum riser height, we'll just put it 8 inches for now. And the desired number of risers is going from plinth level to first floor, and I know that this sketch contains 17 risers, so I will just say that 17 risers. And since we had entered 8 inches for maximum riser height, so it will calculate actual riser height to be some variable. And this time I'm going to create this sketch by sketch, and I'm going to essentially pick lines, pick this inner plaster line, and just sorry, I need to select this line, just delete this and just trim this. And first we need to create a boundary of staircase, so I'll go from here to here and here, and I'll just trim extend this, and then I'll delete this line because we have risers onto that, and I'll just click risers and I'll pick lines and I'll create 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12. And this riser should essentially be between this, and we need to draft a path, stair path. Okay. And in edit type, I will say that for now I don't need the right support and left support, since even if it does. Okay, let me just show you. I just click yes, and you see that it's created in the wrong direction. Fine, just let me click this and flip the direction, and you can see that the stringer beams are inserted in the wall. So I'll just select this and edit stairs, and for right and left support I say that right now I don't want none, and the left support none, and I will say yes, middle support I want, and that's all. Okay, maybe say 2 of them, and just click apply and okay, and just finish the staircase. And with that railing you can just see the 3D. Then you have your stairs created going from ground floor to first floor. But essentially you will notice that you have a problem with this staircase, so you can just HI. Then this is what happens when you have the custom shape of landing and Revit couldn't find the proper alignment. So at that time it create problem while creating the, let me just change this to say I don't want the middle support, maybe say 0, and let me add the right support to carriage open, and left support as well to carriage open, and let's see what happens. So okay, so as you can see that here too it's creating some problem. This is because there's a random geometry or the random shape of the landing and the flights, so that is why it is not taking that. So in such specific cases, when that such error pops up, then what you need to do is just select all of this to say none, and for the run type you just go and select the monolithic run and apply and okay. So that will just at least create the staircase. Okay, so now we have the steps going from ground floor to first floor, and we don't have any error. Okay, so now let's quickly go to plinth and let me add some couple of existing furniture, and let's go to insert tab and load family and English Imperial and furniture system, and let me add some sitting. What do we have? Let's see. Yeah, we can add this. Okay, and anything else? Yeah, we can also add this and this. And let me add all of this for now. And also we need some other furnitures like say tables, and this could serve as the dining table. Yeah, and also some bed furniture and beds. And for now I will just select this bed box. Yeah, this too. And this with this family is loaded. I'll just go to architecture and say component, and let's see what can we add. We have our dining tables, so let me just place that onto here, or let me select some another dimension. Okay, that's fine. Then we have our sofa set, so that could be added. Just press tab, one over here, one over here, and here as well, and here. We can add two more here. And this way we have added some custom furniture, existing components, existing furniture. And for the bed, we need to add, this, let me see, yeah, that, perfect. Okay, now just let's go to 3D. Yeah, so you see that you need to flip the direction for this too. Also this, and same way. So you see how efficiently and how fast we can work with Revit if we are aware of all the commands. I think we are used to all the commands. And one last thing essentially needed for this ground floor is that I need to change both of this window into a sliding door, which could be access to balcony in this case and the kitchen garden for the other window. So let me just quickly do that. I'll just change some of the properties and go to edit type and duplicate it, and I'll just name it 6 foot 2 inches 2. And for this I'll say the height to be 6 foot 6 inches, and default sill height is an instance parameter, so you need to change it from here. So that's fine. That will convert it into a sliding door that could be access to the function or the space outside. So similarly I need to change this, or maybe just convert this into this. So but I need just sill height to 6 inches. That will convert both of this window into a sliding door. Okay, so now let's quickly add a floor to this, and for that I need to go to first floor, and while clicking floor on architecture and with the Strelic generic floor, I go to edit type and I will just duplicate. I'll say that custom floor, and for the thickness I will enter 6 inch, that is 15 centimeters, 0.15 meter, then 150 mm. And for the material I'll say that default flooring material, and just press OK, and fine. Now there are a couple of ways adding a floor in Revit. It's very important to understand the joinery, that how a floor is joined with the wall. So the first and the foremost is if I click this boundary line and just select this entire chunk. And if we just deduct this portion also, let me say, if I join this with and get rid of this, since this is an OTS, and we will deduct the staircase and this courtyard portion, but for now I want to show you something. If I just hit the checkbox and say attach, then while going to 3D, if you see that this is the way the floor is joined with the wall. But in this case, this generally is the case when we add a floor on the topmost, that is the topmost level or the topmost slab, that is the rooftop. But in this case, we want this particular edge to be inside in such a way that the walls can go up. But right now, if I select this, and even if I select this to terrace floor, then this wall won't go up, since we have attached this slab or this floor to the wall. And essentially, if not that, let me show you for this particular portion that even if I just select this floor and draw onto only this portion and say attach, or maybe say don't attach, then if you see, then this is the way we want to see it right now. But in this case, what happens is that if I drop a section and if you just hit the section, then you see that in this case what is happening is that the floor ends here and doesn't reach the exterior face of the wall, and that is practically incorrect, because it is supposed to this, if it is the floor, then it is supposed to go up till the exterior end edge of the wall, and here there should be essentially a beam. Okay, so what needs to be done is that just delete out of this and go to first floor, and then I will say floor and architecture, and this is a very important command, that is pick walls. And by picking the walls, you remember that we have defined an external layer for the wall, which is the external plaster. So by picking the walls, we'll pick this edge, that is the layer below this plaster line, and we will select all for all walls that particular line. And in this case, we need to flip it. I will just clear this by trim extents, and for this I will add a split line, and again I will say pick walls, and again, and for we will deduct the staircase portion, and I will join this, and again we'll go to pick walls and again select this exterior and highlighted wall. Again we'll pick walls and we'll select this, and we'll just flip the direction and pick walls and select this, all the exterior walls, but we are selecting the layer which is the second layer, that is after the external plaster. And similarly for this, and why is not selecting the, there we go. And similarly for this. And now you see that with this selected, we have selected all the, let me just clear this, and and this as well, and okay. And now essentially you can see that for all the walls we have selected the exterior edge, but not the external plaster and the layer which is inside that. And now if I go to finish this, and this must be in closed loop. I need to trim this line as well and just hit the checkbox. The same error we have here. And in this case I will say don't attach and no. And if we go to 3D, then you see that essentially now this is the way we need to have our floor at intermediate levels. And I'll just go to modify and do a little bit of drafting work and cleaning up. So you see that whenever I join that particular wall, it is cutting that floor is cutting that much portion of the wall by 6 inches, and that is how it is practically on site. That floor is casted. And just a little bit of cleaning work. And join. Join. And yes, this too. And this as well. And last but not least, so this is incorrect again. Okay, fine. So join. And no, why is it? So in this end again, it's creating a problem. So that might be because we have selected. Let me just quickly go to floor plan. And yes, we have selected the internal face, internal layer only. And let me just get rid of these 2 lines and pick walls. And this time again, I'm going to select this and click OK and say don't attach and go to 3D. And yeah, there, see, perfect. That is how we need to see. And now if we'll see in section, and if I just turn on this to level to fine and this to wireframe, or not, let's say hidden, then you see that now this particular floor is exactly going up to the exterior face of this wall. And still we have this one external layer of plaster that is wrapped and going through that particular slab, and so that in 3D we can see perfectly, visualize it. Okay, so that was about a little bit about the joint conditions of floor and walls, which is typically an important thing in Revit. Okay, so let's quickly start modeling the first floor for this particular model, and for that I need to select this AutoCAD plan and change this base level to first floor, and then go to first floor and align it in place. So for that I need to draw a line onto this inner wall, which is, I suppose, yeah, that's fine. And I will say that I want this to align to this particular face. Okay, and I'll just get rid of this line and let's just check whether, and yeah, it's perfectly aligned and fine. And I'll just change the underlay to say none for now, so they can properly visualize their AutoCAD plan. And just like we model the walls and everything for that particular floor, for print level, let us do the same thing for the ground floor or first floor. While going to architecture tab, I'll select the wall and I'm just drafting the walls, and it appears perfectly. And for now I will just complete this periphery, and I am snapping to the perfect. And actually this needs to be, yeah, okay. But in this case, for some of the walls we will have, so essentially we have a balcony over here, so I will change this wall. I will just drag this wall here, so align, and still I suppose that this needs to be actually 0.5 inches inside, that is including the plaster line, and the same applies to this too. that we have to move it in such a way that it considers the alignment of the plaster line. Okay, fine. And we actually in this case need this walls to go all the way till here, and same for this wall to go up till here. And fine. And also we need to create this architecture and wall, and the main wall 4.5 inch. So let us create that walls, and I just create them for now, and I will say I want it to here. The same way I need to construct the walls for this end with the 4 feet 4.5 inches internal walls, and similarly for this, and press tab, and yeah. So with this done, now I need to add the parapet wall for the 1, 2 and 3 balconies. So I will go to, I'll just measure this. Yeah, it's 9 inch, but I will say that I just want this to be main wall, but the constraint should be base constraint of first floor, and top constraint should be unconnected and 3 foot in this case. That is typically height of a parapet wall. And it's not snapping. Let me just draw it for now, and I will move this and join it here. Still not. So align, and I guess I have a problem over here. Let me just drag this, just undo this. Okay, for all chain of this wall, I said I actually need to select. I'll just get rid of this walls, and first I will select this whole chain of walls created. For each of them, I'll change the constraint from base constraint to first floor, and top constraint to terrace floor. Okay, and now let me just go to wall and select this main wall, and with base constraint first floor and top constraint unconnected 3 foot. That's fine. So I will. Why is not snapping to that AutoCAD plan? Let me just create. Okay, and let's trim this. Okay, fine. But we have a problem over here. Just let me drag this. Oh, let's see it in 3D. Yeah. And this needs to be flushed. So why is it not getting flush? So wall. And for now I will just select this and then modify and say align. I select this and say, yeah, there we go. Okay, so now it is flushed. And the same way we also need to create the walls for parapet walls for this too, this balcony too. So for some reason I don't know what is the problem, but it is not snapping to that AutoCAD plan, but that is not an issue for now. And I will just take it all the way up. Let me take it all the way. Yeah, and that should perfectly join. And similarly we have it here as well. So let me draw a wall, but in this case we have a smaller wall. So let me just delete this and let me draw this. Again, this is not that wall. And I need to select a wall which is 6 inches. And now again, we need to select and also we need to create the wall for this as well, the parapet wall. And okay, there we go. Okay, fine. Let's go to 3 and see. And you see that our first floor has been created. Okay, fine. Let me quickly, yeah. But we need to join this geometry to visually make it appear look one single face. Same way this as well. And the top of this. Yeah, I guess this is the AutoCAD plan which is creating a problem. So let me join this. Oh, okay. We have a problem over here. Okay, and that is flushed. Yeah. Okay, so now this looks a bit perfect. And I'll just turn on this again, the AutoCAD plan. And let us add openings to this. For that, I need to go to wireframe until we can see the openings. And this is the 10-foot opening. This align and up and measure this 8 foot and similarly 8 foot. So we already have a window which is 8 foot in width, and that should be, yeah, this one. And let's add it and then just modify and align that in place. Fine. We also have a window over here which is 6 foot 6 inches. So let me check. We have a 6 foot window, so let's add that for now. And I don't want to mess with that particular thing. And we have a problem over here. And this particular thing is supposed to be at this end. Yeah, fine. Okay, and we need to add ventilations for both of these toilets. So again, I go into window, I'll select the louvers. Louvers 2 feet back across 5 feet, and essentially I will add it. So here, one to be here and one on this end. And for this, I will just go to modify and align it in place. Just selected, I will just, and similarly for this. Okay, fine. And we need to add doors. So I'll go into door. I'll select the 3-foot single flush door and add doors to this particular floor. And similarly 2 feet 6 inches for the okay, and let's just align them in place. Line, and this face should be this, and likewise this should be this. Okay, and the main door as well, this should be this, and this should go like align, and this particular face should be this. Yeah, there we go. Now this particular wall also needs to be a parapet wall. It should be have unconnected and have a height of 3 feet, since it is an overlooking to the courtyard below. And with all this, we just need one slab for this particular balcony. So I'll go to floor, or we can just edit the slab, which is the ground floor. Yeah, this is it. And edit boundary, and I will just extend this to be, I just pick lines, and that should go from here to here and here, and essentially connect here, and I'll just split lines. And okay, don't attach, that's fine. And now let's go to 3D and see that okay, we have a perfect floor created with all the openings. We just need one opening over one balcony door over here, first floor, so that is 10 foot. So again I need to go to a door, or maybe again I need to go to window, and by selecting this particular slider with trim, I need to select this 8 foot and go to edit type and duplicate that, creating it, making it 10 foot, and the height and everything is fine. You just need to change the width to 10 foot. Just apply, and let me place onto here, and just modify and align that in place. Insert wall, yeah, that's fine. And we have one more window here, so architecture and window, but this time this is going to be the 4-foot window, or no, the 6-foot window. Yeah, and that should have a sill height of 3 feet. Yeah, and that's fine. Let me just align that. Okay, and now let's go to 3D, and you see we have our this mats and valuation perfect. Okay, so that is how quickly we created the first floor. And now let's quickly create some additional components to this. That is, we have a canopy onto this particular floor, which is a shading device for the plinth level, and this for this wooden deck and the garden area and so on. Okay, so let's go to quickly the first floor, and essentially I need to create architecture, in this case a component and model in place. And this could actually be created by roof floor as well, but since it has this punctures and this pergolas, I wanted to create it with this generic model, and I will just select the floor and I will name it canopy, and I want to create it by extrusion. Fine, and I'll just go to extrusion and strictly select this, and this will need a little bit of drafting, but that's okay. And from here to here, and I'll just get rid of this line and just trim. Okay, now let's start with the drafting portion. Let's just first create the profile of this particular shading element, and okay, I will say that I want this to have an extrusion start of say 0, and the extrusion end should go to negative 2 feet. That is, if you, there are multiple of ways you can deal with this. This could be a canopy with this which is essentially a slab which has a beam and a floor clustered, or this could be a wooden canopy, pergolas or whatever. But right now, for I'm considering the default situation and assuming that this is a slab casted with punchers, so I'm considering this to be beams, and that's why given the profile depth of 2 feet, minus 2 feet, and let's just see that. Is it? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so now let's quickly create the punchers, and we'll just go to extrusion, and I will just select this and copy with multiple checked on. I'll copy this, and now I'll select all of this, copy, and I will no, 1 2 3 4, and likewise, actually I selected the wrong. Let's start drafting from this end. Copy 2 3 and 4 and 5. Actually, we have a problem with the AutoCAD plan, but I don't want to waste time on that. And let's just create some punchers, some elements which would appear to be like the pergolas. And copy multiple of them, and this I will select all of them and copy and say okay, there we go. And this two doesn't align, but that's okay, we need to proceed on. Yeah, that's fine. And for this I'll say that this elements should be 0 and extrusion should be 1/18 inch, or let's just keep this 12 inches. That is 1 foot, minus 1 foot, and okay. And for this I will change this to minus 18 inches, 1 foot 6 inches, fine. And let's see it in 3D, and there is our shaded pergola roof. Okay, and quickly I will add the columns, supporting columns at the end, and for that I'll just go to create extrusion again, but for this actually I need to create it on ground floor, plinth level, but that's okay, we can create it here as well. And this should be 0, and this should be minus 10 inches, 10 foot, minus 10 foot, since we are creating on this floor. So all of that, okay. And for this I will say the join geometry, essentially join with this. No, I just finished this, and I'll go to 3D. Yeah, and join geometry, I want this to, yeah, perfect. And I'll just add materials to this. So for materials part, let's add some concrete texture, that concrete, and this appearance, no, and this, and Yeah, this is fine. Concrete precast. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Fine. So the first floor is also created with all the openings. I just need to add one window into this phase. So let me go to first floor. Let me see if I have. No, we don't have a window onto this portion, so that's fine. I'll just finish this. And let's hide the AutoCAD plan. And you see this is created. So you see that this particular floor edge is being visible here, but it's not visible onto the walls since we have added an exterior plaster layer to that and we have joined that floor to that wall in that particular way. But we will need a beam over here. So let's not consider that for now, the structural part. And actually we can just get rid of this wall as well. And if not, actually let's select this particular walls and say that it's just to be, it appears to be like a pardi, that is an RCC wall, and the unconnected should be 6 inches. And let's draft a railing for that particular. So I will go to this and architecture and railing, sketch path, and I'm going to select the glass panel bottom fill, just going it to, or maybe just pick lines, 1 2 oh sorry 2 and 3, but this internal face, and again pick lines and 1 2 and there we go. But I need to end it up here. And similarly align and trim and just get rid of this line and just say that first floor, and that's just so fine. Yeah, the railing must be a single connected sketch. Oh, so we need to get rid of this and just finish, and that is how it is created. Edit path, and this needs to stop here. And finish, and I will select this particular piece of railing and just DM, that is mirror, and I'll just mirror it here. And let's go to 3D, and there we go. But we need the base offset to say 6 inches. Since we have a coping, or not coping, but the structural RCC element which acts as a pardi. That's fine. Okay. So let's quickly add the terrace floor and just complete this model. So I'm going to select this, press HR, and to select this particular AutoCAD plan, and let's change the base level to say terrace floor, and let's quickly go to terrace floor. And again I need to go to VG and see imported categories and convert it into halftone so we can have proper visibility. And this is the portion where we have our wall. So if this is the plan, yeah, then LI, and I just need to select this and align that with this particular face. So that will probably make that in place. And yeah, you can see that this should be essentially 1 inch. So we have a problem. And here let's check. This is half inches. Should be, yeah, so that's fine. Okay, so now with this, let's quickly create the terrace floor. And first we need to, what we need to do is that going to first floor, I'll just add a wall, and this wall should be created, or the base constraint should be first floor, and the base offset should be 8 foot 6 inches, and the top constraint should be terrace floor. And I will just create a wall which would act as a beam. It's not visible here, but that's fine. I want it to be, yeah, perfect. And now let's go to terrace floor, and with that made, we just need to make from floor first. So I again go to floor architecture, and this time I'm going to select the lines, pick walls, sorry, and create this simple floor, which would actually deduct this, again, this stair portion, which should typically start from this end and should be here. And I just get rid of this, and actually we can connect this here and this here and this here, so we don't want, and we can get rid of this line, and I will just say that finish, don't attach, no, and let's see it in 3D, and that's fine. What we just need to do is that select this floor, let's just modify and join geometry, and again by selecting this floor we'll join all the walls, so that will basically deduct that much portion of the wall by 6 inches, and we have our floor. Okay, and that's the AutoCAD plan, which I think is press HH and join geometry again. Okay, we need to join this, and we need to join this, join this. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, one more, join, and there we go. Okay, so now let's create walls quickly, and this time I will say that architecture and walls, but I want this wall to go to terrace, to the slab top, but only for this portion, this particular portion. I will just draft this walls, but I will select this particular face, and why is it not, oh sorry, page constraint. And with this wall selected, I will just walls, and from terrace floor to first floor, and there we go, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and I'll just connect this, and I will just take this wall inside and not actually on this face. Okay, and let's add a door onto this, single flush door. Press tab. It's important that where do you position it, and we need to add the parapet wall for rest of the, so I will just select one and say that this to be unconnected, and just want a height of 3 foot. So again I'll start drafting the walls, just connect it like that. Okay. Oh, that's perfectly fine. And we don't have the alignment to this particular. No, it is aligned. Actually, yeah, not a problem. And okay, so we have constructed our complete structure. Just need to join this, join a couple of geometries to get rid of that line, and there we go. Also join this with, it's perfect. And oh, we have a problem. Let me go to terrace floor. Join it back and go to 3D. Yeah, there we go. And here too. Join geometry. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to terrace floor. This is the custom floor, but this is the line. Wall, and let me connect to this point. Actually, let me connect to this particular point, and okay, and let me go to 3D, and hopefully this time it works. And okay, it does. Yeah, and only we have okay, fine, that's perfectly fine. So in order to complete this 3D form or this built structure, I essentially need to add a roof for this particular portion and this slab top, which in this case, as per my plan, it is a sloping roof, and here too it is a sloping roof. Okay, so let's quickly do that. So I'll just go to the first floor, not first floor, the terrace floor, and I will, with this selected, and just drop down and roof by footprints, and I will convert this into a duplicate roof, and so we say custom roof, and I will just edit this and convert this into a 6-inch roof. And for material part, I'm again going to make a custom material and just duplicate, and one roof material, and just rename and Control C, and duplicate here as well, and Control V. And for the material part, I will just convert this into thumbnails until I can see that that tile form. Where is it? Yeah, this is it, the Spanish tiles. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, apply, and okay, and okay, done. And I will just say that roof by footprints, and I will just select this particular portion, and I will just deduct slope from these 3 lines, and I will say that I want the slope to be something like 15 degrees, and hit the checkbox, and let's see in 3D. Okay, fine, but we have a lot of distance here, so I will essentially change this to base offset minus 5 feet. Yeah, that's perfect. And I'll select, oh, we have a problem here. I need to have this window to be at 6 inches. So join wall complement 6 inches. Yeah, that's okay. And I will select this chain of walls, or maybe say this particular wall 1 and 2, all of this, and just say attach top base and attach to this. Okay, and we have our, so this is a sloping roof created, but you see that here we have a problem, but doesn't matter. Actually we need to get rid of this, both the railings, because we will have a curtain wall that will be acting as a element of light, for the intake of light to for this particular portion, and we have a sloped glazing here. So let me just edit path and get rid of this line, just finish, and here as well I will edit path and get rid of this line and just finish, and I will take this particular wall, say not unconnected but up to first floor, the lower than 0, and okay, so, and I will take this to say terrace floor. Yeah, that's fine. And the same for this particular wall as well. We just select this to terrace floor, but we still have this gap remaining, so let's just select this wall and let it have a top offset of 3 feet. And similarly for this portion, the top offset of 3 feet. Similarly for this wall, that is top offset of 3 feet. And yeah, that's perfect. So we need to add this piece of element over here also. So I will just select this and go to terrace floor, and I will just say mirror, draw axis, and I will draw it here. So that will probably, and I will join this, and I will just again, yeah, so join geometry, yeah, perfect. Okay, so now let's quickly add a rooftop, that is the topmost slab, and just finish off this model. So I'll go to slab top, and I'll just say that architecture and roof, and by going to custom roof, I'll have the base offset of say minus 12 inches, and I'll just pick the walls again, and I don't want the overhang, so C0, and I'll just say pick walls, and this time I'm going to select the interior face of the wall and define slope 0 and finish, and let's go to 3D. Yeah, that's perfect. Don't worry about the material for now. And now let's add a curtain wall to this particular portion and finish off this model. So I will go to say plinth level, and I will say that I want wall, and in this case I'm going to select the wall that comes with Revit, that is the storefront system, and I'm going to draw it from here to here, and I will say that I'll just select this, and I'll say that I want base constraint to be plinth and the top constraint to be say terrace floor. Let's go to 3D and see that. Yeah, but we need to close this portion as well. So in that case, what I'm going to do is under roof, if I drop down this, I'll have a sloped glazing, which is nothing but just like a curtain wall, and I'll say base offset to be 0, and I want to add it on the terrace floor. And for all these 3 corners, I'm going to define slope off, and for this particular portion I'm going to define the slope of say 15, and also the terrace floor, and yeah, fine. So let's just see it in 3D. Okay, yeah, that's perfect, absolutely perfect. And now just what I need to do is select this HI until I can and now we need to edit the mullions, and for this I'm going to edit storefront system, and it says the maximum spacing is 5 feet. I would say that I just need 2 feet 6 inches for vertical grid and 4 feet for horizontal grid. And no, the vertical grid should be 4 feet, 4 feet by 4 feet. Just apply and okay. Okay, and we will also convert this into that particular segment, and for that I just need to go to grid and start adding grid to this particular segment. And okay, and I will select all of this, and then I will go for place mullions, and then I'll place the mullions onto this particular grid, and that will probably complete the geometry. And you see that we have a problem here, but that's okay, we can customize it later. But for now, this is it, and for now I'll just get rid of this. I'll unpin this, and I'll get rid of this particular element. And for the grid section also, I'll add remove segment and just get rid of this particular thing. Also we need to unpin this as well, and for the lower also I will unpin this and just remove this. And for this particular segment, I'll say that we cannot actually get rid of this. For this we need to add a door, a curtain wall door, and I'll just go to insert, and while going to the load family I will go to English libraries and use English Imperial, and under door we have this storefront double four or facing, and we have this double storefront which I'm going to open up and load this onto this project. So essentially that will be added to the preferred location, and when I select this particular glass, I can just drop down and add the door to it. Okay, and there we go. And now let's add some skylight to this particular sloping roof. For that I need to go to window, and I will say load family, and in windows let me see, and we have a lot of skylights already loaded given by Revit. For now just let me select this skylight pyramid and open it and just drop it somewhere on the roof, and let me just flip this, and let me select its size. If I had some bigger size, yeah, that's fine. So we have a skylight added. Right now dimensions is not important, but just showing you the functionality that how can you can furthermore edit it and make it big if you want. That's in case of width, if you want this to be say 6 foot, and apply and okay. so that will become a bigger skylight. Okay, but that depends on your design. This was just showing you the function. Also, I need two supporting columns for this particular sloping roof, and in this case I'm going to add some classical vintage columns which are provided by Revit. Just go to insert tab and load family, and under English Imperial, and if you go to columns, and we have this columns which are provided by Revit, which we can use. And let me just load up the store and see whether we can. Let me go to length level, and under column section, architecture and component, column component section, let me see whether I can find that column that we just loaded. It is not here, so probably it will be there in columns, and we don't have it there as well. And column architectural, and we have this particular column which we can add. Right now, not worrying about the size, but we just want to add. So we'll add two of them, one on this end and one on this end. And let me see whether we can, from plinth level up to terrace floor. And the same for this, that is plinth up to terrace floor. And let's go to 3D. It's something appears to be attached top base, and just attach this. That's perfect. And again, this is added, so attach top base, and we have our two columns added, which appears to be, and if I want, I can just go to edit type and just stone marble. The material is already added, so I don't think we need to mess with that. Okay, and I can just reposition this and just flip the direction. So that's perfect. And we need to add a couple of families to this. That is, I just go to insert and load family, and English Imperial under entrage, if I can, the car, and okay, and fine. And if I go to architecture and component, then essentially I can add this particular car for this model. And let me go to plinth level and ground floor layout, and then load that component, and let me see if I could. And car, and while going to plinth level, let me again load a component and add some human figures. That will essentially make this look a bit realistic. And for this, I will say the plinth offset to be plinth level. That's fine. And also we can add here some trees, so that will okay. And now let's just see in 3D, and you see that. And I need to reposition these trees which are placed at a wrong level. Actually, all of this should be 1, 2, 3, and 4 should be added to ground floor layout, and that will make it in place. And let me just place it to a desired location so that we can see the elements added. Okay, and it's fine. There we go. So that is it. And if you want, I can add a road to this model also. So just by going to ground floor layout, let me quickly go to component model in place and generate model, and that should be one. And let me just quickly add extrusion. And right now, just to show you that how does it work, and I'll just delete this and I'll trim this, and I'll just say that okay. And for material part, I will add something like asphalt. Let me just create a new material, and this time I'm going to call it one road, and duplicate that here as well, and one road, and just give it a color of, say, something like it appears like a road. Right, and okay, let's finish this. Now let's go to 3D, and this is not appearing like a road. So again, I need to go to this and change this appearance to something darker shade. Try and okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. A lot of other details could be added to this particular 3D model. For example, we don't have the weather shades for this particular opening on this face, but this was just a sort of revision for all of you to get up to this point, for essentially for the revising a recap of all this 3D referring commands. And with this particular 3D model, this particular structure, from tomorrow's class we'll start with this particular annotate tab, wherein I will show you all this different functions of this annotate tab by implementing those into this particular 3D model. And that could be the end of the first phase of Revit Live BIM classes. Okay, so just go through the video and let me know if you have any doubts or queries, and everyone get to this point, and we'll continue with the session tomorrow. Okay.